Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another Ranger Retrospective. Today we're talking about possibly the holy grail of Power Ranger seasons, Season 9, aka Power Rangers Timeforce. Now, Timeforce, thankfully, has a bit of a less complicated story than the past few seasons. I say this, and as I'm thinking now how to explain it, I realize this isn't true. So, in the future, I think it's the 30th century, Rangers are the police force, and they capture and are fighting against the mutants, who are led by this gentleman, Rancid, who is a very dangerous villain. In fact, he's probably one of the most powerful villains we see, just in terms of how effective he is. But in his first episode, he kills the Red Timeforce Ranger, and flees to the past because he realizes he can't beat the Rangers in their timeline, so he's just gonna go back to where he can win. So the Pink Ranger, who actually is the leader of the team this time round, she takes the other Rangers back in time and they meet the ancestor of the Red Ranger, whom she was romantically linked to, named Wes. And Wes is solid competition for best Red Ranger of all time. In fact, I'd say he's Jason's strongest competition as far as I'm concerned. And the dynamic is them trying to fight the mutants, and this season was just really good in that it explored, prejudice against the mutants and how unfair it was. There's a character who had his body destroyed and was turned into a robot, who then had to deal with prejudice against robots and the sort of losses that came with losing your own body. And things are complicated by the presence of Wes's childhood friend, Eric, who becomes the 6th Ranger of the season, the Quantum Ranger, which does very much just look like another Red Ranger, to the point when they did the Red Ranger reunion special, he was included. But their dynamic of rivalry is one of the best, because Wes was born very, very wealthy, and was basically handed everything. Even though he's a nice guy who stands up and has no real personal flaw from being rich, Eric had to work for everything, and a bit of resentment built there. Eric joins this team called the Silver Guardians, so there's a military force who's trying to fight the monsters that Rancid summons as well. And we just get this great back and forth. They're very much the Goku and Vegeta of the Power Rangers franchise. And again, Timeforce had some excellent choreography. So as the story unfolds, they're taking on Rancid, and it seems as though he's going to win. So the other Rangers go back in time, go forward in time again, and are told, Rancid is stopped, but Wes dies in the attempt. And the other Rangers just can't accept this, they come back and fight. And just through understanding, this isn't a big fight. Rancid clearly could kill them all, but they talk to him, his daughter, who I didn't give a picture of, she's not super important. Rancid has a daughter, Nadira, and they just turn into being good. Not good, necessarily, but he understands that just killing and slaughtering and maiming is really not the way to resolve these sorts of issues. It needs to come from mutual understanding, so it's an important lesson. And we also get, the final stand of Eric and Wes trying to take on armies by themselves. It's just some really fantastic set pieces. I mean, that clock tower fight is just, ooh, that is crisp. I can't really say anything bad about Timeforce when I try and think about it. We get the best romance in the season, or any season, between the Pink Ranger Jen and Wes, because, it's love across time. I think it's the only time in Power Rangers 2 Rangers have said on screen, I love you, to one another, so that really cemented the relationship. It was just a much more adult show, and it was the culmination, I think, of all the things they have been building up to, starting with In Space, when the storytelling got a lot more dynamic. And then it was just perfected in Timeforce. And it's kind of uneven from this point, going forward in Power Rangers. We do have some exceptional seasons, like SPD and RPM come to mind. They're really, really good. But Timeforce may have been the peak of Power Rangers. We'll see going forward how Hasbro does with the license. But for me, Timeforce is, when it really, really hit it. I guess that's it. Just phenomenal season. If you were going to start with Power Rangers and wanted to dip your toe into a show, this would be where I'd say do it. If you're not going to start at the beginning, this is the one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, we have plenty more Ranger retrospectives. There will be more to come. We've got Hero House, Bigger Fights, the Wreckers, Top 10 lists, and ranking lists, so loads of content to enjoy. So please like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you again. Thanks for your time and all the best. Bye.